Hey guys, welcome to Books Are Sick. I am Nick, here with another desk video at my desk. Thanks for tuning in. We are talking about fall reads today, okay? Fall reads. We've got some books here that I love, that I think you will love. If you want to amplify your fall, these are the ones for you, okay? I promise you're gonna like them. And we've got a mix here too. These aren't all scary. Some of them are cozy. Some of them are books that I feel like just fit the fall scene, okay? So we're gonna get into that. It is September 9th, we're not even technically at fall, which is the 22nd. I'm in Southern Ontario. It's already kind of getting a little chilly. It's not cold, but I'm in a sweater. You know, we're getting the mid-teens. We're going to 8, 9 degrees overnight, and I am so ready. I do like the summer just fine. You can go outside and kick a ball, which is great, I guess. I have no idea. But I do prefer the chillier, colder weather. I like wearing 2 pairs of socks. I like wearing toques. I like when the cold air kind of creeps in at night and you can get even cozier. I am just very ready for that time of life. So, and there's no better way to sink yourself into the colder season than with books like this. So let's get into that. But before we do, I do have to give you a quick merch update, specifically for my American pals. For those of you who follow me on socials or are subscribed to my newsletter, you've already seen the update. That is essentially, I'm just not able to ship to the USA at the moment, which is a total bummer. Basically what happened here is I had all of these pre-orders go live, and then as I was waiting for the stuff to come in, these new rules and tariffs were implemented that have essentially made it impossible for me to ship to the USA. I was really, truly trying to figure it out. I was trying to see how much would it cost if an American really wants their stuff, how much more would it be? But you would potentially be looking at a $200 fee once it arrives to you, for a hat. I can't do that to you, and I can't absorb that cost myself, unfortunately. So that is the bummer update. If you are an American and you've placed an order, please don't fear, you will be refunded in full. I'm just sorting that all out at the moment. I've always really appreciated the support from across the border. You guys make up a massive part of my sales. So it just sucks, it totally sucks. What this also means is for Canada, for the UK, for Australia, for most of the rest of the world, the shop is open. I'm going to have a lot of stuff. I've got a lot of in-stock stuff now that this has happened. So if you've ever wanted to buy a hat or a shirt, I would be so appreciated, but no pressure whatsoever. Just got to mention it, you know what I mean? And also, if you've ever wanted to join, I'm just doing plugs now. If you've ever wanted to join my book club, it's $7 USD a month. It's a really fun place to be. There's a lot going on over there. And if you do that, I wanted to mention, make sure you do it on a desktop, because if you do it through the app, the Patreon app, you could be charged an extra 30%. Make sure you do it on a desktop. I didn't realize this, but so that it's cheaper. Desktop. Do it on a desktop. Easiest, cheapest way to throw me any support. If you've ever wanted to, I feel like a loser, is just to like and subscribe here. All right? So that's the update. That's what's going on. It's not the most fun, but sorry for the bummer start. Moving on though, we're gonna deal with it. We're gonna make it happen. Let's get into books. That's why we're here. This is what makes life good. So let's focus on this. The first book here I have is a cozy one. This is the first real cozy book that I read, and I really loved it. I thought it was so unique that there was really no conflict that really happens. I mean, minorly, but not really. And this is Legends and Lattes by Travis Baldree. You've probably seen this. It got pretty popular about a year ago, and I believe I read this last fall, and I just loved it. This is basically about an orc that is tired of her violent lifestyle and just wants to open a coffee shop and live quietly. And the whole book is basically just about her and her friends opening this coffee shop and trying to make it work, dealing with the local kind of mobster situation, but just really the story is just trying to make a coffee shop this inviting, sustainable place. And it's just the best, It's such a cute, nice story that I thought was totally unique and very it worked for me. I don't read a lot of cozy stuff, but that one really worked for me. Next up, let's get into one that is scary. It's supposed to be scary, but I don't think it's going to scare you, but it is one of my favorites, and that is The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I just love Shirley Jackson so much. I really love her writing. And I remember when I first read this book, I was not very into the book world. I was one of the first books that I had read when I got into reading. And so I didn't really know a lot about authors or books or anything. And so I thought this book had maybe come out in the 90s, which is so dumb. But as I was reading it, I remember thinking oh, that's kind of familiar. Oh yeah, okay, I think I've seen that done before. And I didn't really realize until halfway through when I researched it that this is really the first haunted house book. And Once I learned that, I gained such a new appreciation for this story, and I really fell in love with it. I was liking it. I was liking it before I learned that, but it made me like it that much more. And basically what the story is about this group of people that go to stay in this house that they know is haunted, and they're basically just kind of hanging out there waiting for something to happen. And there's a lot of kind of jump cuts in this storytelling too, which is really jarring, but I think kind of intentional. You'll kind of just like suddenly be somewhere else and you kind of got to figure it out, and it's really unique and weird. And you kind of also get the sense that this house is alive. Like this house is its own being. And you get kind of confused as to where you even are with the characters. And the characters in this story are awesome too. Really, really well fleshed out, weird, quirky, cool characters that kind of make the story as good as it is. And it's just I just love it. It's a Haunting of Hill House, Shirley Jackson. Give it a go if you haven't. Vintage, quirky horror that I love so much. Shirley Jackson rules. Next up here, we have another Shirley Jackson book that is one that if you kind of just want to dip your toes into the Shirley Jackson world, you don't want to commit too heavily to The Haunting of Hill House, or We Have Always Lived in the Castle, this is one that could be for you. This is called The Lottery. This is a really quick one. It might not look super quick, but this is a collection of short stories. It's actually really, really short, and it's so good. It's essentially about this town that goes to this annual tradition where they start taking names, and then something happens. It's a really simple story. I can't really say too much about it without just completely giving away what it is, but it's one of those quick stories that will leave you feeling not super great, but in a good way because it's so well done. You know, it's totally unique. It was definitely unique when it came out, and well worth your time. And again, it's a super quick read. The Lottery, Shirley Jackson. Just get yourself into some Shirley Jackson this fall. I promise you'll probably at least like her. She's pretty cool. Okay. Moving on, we're going to go into another cozy one here. This is A Psalm for the Wild Built. This is by Becky Chambers. And this is one too. I think I read this before Legends and Lattes, actually. So I suppose this may have been my first delve into the cozy world. But it is really great. We're basically following just a robot and a tea monk as they kind of journey along together, just talking about the meaning of life and how can we be better people and what does it all mean, sort of, you know. And it's really cute. It's really well done. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's a really quick one as well. And if you're just looking for something to, you know, sink into a soft piece of furniture that you might have and just feel good, but also think, this is a fantastic one. There's also a follow-up to this one too called A Prayer for the Crown Shy, which I've heard is quite good. I've not read it yet, but apparently right up there with this one in terms of quality. So yeah, you got two there you could do if you so please. Moving on here, we have one that is totally different from all the ones that I've mentioned so far. And the reason I put this one on the list, it's not scary, it's not cozy, but when I think of fall, I just feel like going back to school. I'm out of the education system, but I do every fall. It's just, you kind of get that like, oh, we're going back to school phase. And this is a book where we are going to school, and it will likely not be a school experience that you've ever had before, but it is well worth your time. It's one of my favorites. This is The Secret History by Donna Tartt. This is a book that I just love, and it's not going to be for everybody. I understand that because it can be a little slow at parts. We're a lot of hanging out and just kind of chatting. There's a lot of dry humor in those parts that kept me going because I love dry humor and I do kind of just like hanging out books. But this is basically the story of this guy that gets accepted into this very special classroom where they're primarily learning Greek, and the students in this classroom are just very fascinating. They're super smart, they talk at a higher level, and this person just kind of really wants to fit in and be in with them. And right off the bat, this isn't a spoiler, this is at the very beginning of the book, we learn that one of these students is no longer with us. They have died, but we don't know why or how. And so that kind of keeps you going in the story as well. It is one of my favorites. The writing in here is just phenomenal. It kept me going. I think I read 300 or 400 pages of this book in one day, which is, I think, still the most I've ever read in a single day. It's just a book that I love. The Secret History. Sink into that, smarty pants fall. What am I trying to say? With The Secret History. It's a really good book. I loved it a lot. Moving on. We've got 3 scary ones to wrap this up. 2 Stephen Kings and 1 other one that is one of my all-time favorites. You can maybe guess what it is, but let's get into it here. The first one I have here is a vampire book by Stephen King. Can you guess what it is? Bet you can't. Salem's Lot. Bet you did. This is just one of the best vampire tales ever told. It's the second book he ever wrote, which is insane. His entry into releasing books is just one of the all-time legendary runs. You know, he started with Carrie, then Salem's Lot, and then The Shining. I mean, just a crazy entry into book world. But Salem's Lot is a book where we are following this character named Ben Mears, and he basically goes back to his hometown. He's a writer. He wants to write about the Marston House, which is this kind of creepy house up on a hill. And as he's there, you know, there's a love interest, there's some other stuff going on, but we basically learn that there's this vampire living in the Marston house that is slowly turning the whole town into vampires, and Ben Mears has got to stop it. And it's just so good. The characters in this book are so good, and the story is amazing. It is pretty scary at times, I guess. You know, maybe not like the scariest for me because it's vampires. You know what I mean? But it is. It's just a good book. It's just a good book that I think you'll really, really love. Give it a go this fall if you haven't read it yet. Try to find a cooler cover than this one. I don't super love this cover, and just let me know what you think. I really love that one. Next up here, the other Stephen King one that I added on this list is Pet Sematary. One of my all-time favorites. This is a very popular one that most people have heard of, so I'm going to get into it a little bit, but I'm not going to give away the back half at all. Pet Sematary is about Lewis Creed, who is a dad who moves into the small town house with his family, and he's starting a new job. And on this property that they're now living on, there's a pet cemetery, and behind the pet cemetery, there is this burial ground where we learn from Judd, their neighbor, lovely Judd, who is a bit of a problem, because it's like, Judd, why did you even tell them about this? But Judd tells them that there is this burial ground where if you bury something there, it could come back to life, but it won't be the same. And essentially what happens is their cat, Churchill, dies, and the dad decides to bury the cat in this burial ground, and the cat comes back to life, but is like obviously not the same cat. This cat's like, yo, I'm like now super dead and scary, so what are you gonna do? So that's kind of how the story gets going, and then a lot of other stuff happens, trust me. What I love so much about this book is it kind of makes you question what you might do in a similar situation. And I know that sounds insane. I know it does, but trust me, I think once you read this, you might not be as sure of yourself as you thought you were. Because I know for me, even I was like, man, I honestly don't know what I would do. I really, really don't. Pet Sematary will have you questioning yourself and have you, you know, looking kind of side-eyed at cats every time you see them outside. Okay, finally, one of my favorite books ever. I saved this one for the end because I talk about it all the time, so I do apologize, but it is one of my all-time favorites. I love it so much, and I want as many people to read it as possible, even though I know it's wildly popular and a lot of you already have. It is The Exorcist by William Peter Blatty. This is just still probably the scariest book I've ever read, and I love that it still hit me like that because I've seen the movie 4,000 times. It's one of my favorite movies ever. It's what I put on when I'm feeling down. I just love it so much. And the book still scared me. I was still, maybe it's because I read it at night. I don't know, but it just, it still made me like, oh. And it's a simple story too. If most of you know it, it's about a young girl who gets possessed by a demon, and basically her and her mom, well, her mom really, is just left to kind of figure out, what do I do here? And the interactions between Regan, the young girl, and her mom, and Regan and the priests, and just everything, it's so creepy. There's some scenes in here that are just so simple but so terrifying, and I absolutely love it so much. William Peter Blatty does the audiobook himself too. Check that out. Read the book. Do something to get this into your body because it is the best. But yeah, The Exorcist, one of my all-time favorites. The perfect October read, the perfect fall read. I'm going to try and give it a reread this fall myself, so tag along if you want to. But those are some books that I think are just, you know, wicked fall reads. Wicked. Not good at puns. Was that a good one? Yeah, so thanks for tuning in, guys. Again, so ready for cooler weather, so ready for sweaters, coats, double socks, and toques. Again, if you're in Canada, US, Canada, UK, or Australia, or most of the rest of the world, the shop is open. The link is down below if you want to grab something, and would super appreciate that, but no pressure, honestly, no pressure. It's just one of those things I gotta mention. So yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go read to, just kind of calm my life down a little bit before I do other stuff. Okay, yeah. All right, bye guys.